The jump I just did is very illegal in amateur competition. I think they consider it a little too dangerous, but I think it's the easiest one to understand. I think everybody knows it's called a back flip. Other jumping terms aren't so easy to understand. What started out as a competition of making designs in the ice transformed into an artistic competition and now has become a very technical, very athletic jumping contest. With all our coverage of the World and European Championships, we throw terms like Lutz, flip, axel, sow cow, toe loop. Well, I feel it's my obligation to explain to you what makes each of these jumps different. Now, the best way to look at these jumps, because they happen so fast, is by super slow motion. And there are two categories of jumps, edge jumps and toe jumps. This is an example of an edge jump, because you're taking off of an edge. Now, all the jumps rotate the same, and they all land backwards on the right foot. That's what makes them look alike. It's the takeoff that makes them different. Here's an example of a toe jump, or a vaulting jump. You reach back, and you push yourself into the air using your toe pick. Now again, you'll see they rotate the same, and they land the same, always going backwards on your right foot. Now there are 6 kinds of jumps, and the first jump that we'll talk about is the loop jump, or as they call it here in Budapest, a Rittsberger. This is the first jump ever tripled in international competition, and who else but Dick Button would be the first man to do a triple in competition. He had a little more hair back then, but again, so did I a few years ago. Here's my double loop. See, it takes off a right outside edge going backwards, rotates, and lands on a right back outside edge. You see, it's a closed stance, taking off your right foot off of an edge, puts you right up into the air. The next jump we'll look at is a sow cow, which is kind of an odd name for a jump, but a lot of these jumps are named after the people that invented them. This is named after Ulrich sow cow, the first man to do it. And here's what Ulrich looked like. As you can see, the dress is a little different now, and so are the surroundings. Now this is a wide stance jump, taking off the left back inside edge. The loop took off the right, the sow cow takes off the left. This is the first triple I ever learned, as with most kids. It's one of the easier takeoffs to learn a triple jump. As you can see, a wide stance, going backwards, taking off that left inside edge. The next jump we'll look at is an axel jump, named after who else? Axel Paulsen, first done in the late 1800s. Now the axel is the most difficult takeoff because you take off forward. Here's a look at axel. And if you think the jump's difficult now, you should have been doing it back then when you had to wear skates like these. Here's the first triple axel ever done in international competition, done by Vern Taylor of Canada at the 1978 Worlds. 3.5 revolutions, he lands it and hangs on to the landing. As you can see, you take off forward. It's like jumping up onto a flight of stairs. It's also very intimidating because you have to look where you're going. All the other jumps take off backwards, and they're kind of back there somewhere. This one's right in front of you. As you can see, it takes off the left forward edge. Now because it takes off forward, it adds an extra half of a revolution. Instead of going around twice on a double axel, you're going around 2.5 times. Starting off forward and landing backward. The first of the vaulting or toe jumps we'll look at is the Lutz jump, named after that mysterious Aloise Lutz. Here's the first triple Lutz ever done in world competition, done by Don Jackson, and he needed this to win his world title in 1962. The Lutz is a long flowing edge on the left foot, picking with your right, pushing you up into the air. the other jumps, you're rotating the same, and you're always landing backwards on the right foot. It's the takeoff that makes them different. Now when you're looking at competition, you're going to look at that edge in the stance. They're always done in the corners, and it's that long edge into the corner. Very telegraph jump. You can see I feel like I'm kind of lucky I landed this one. Whoa! The flip jump is very similar to the Lutz jump. It doesn't mean you're going head over heels or anything like that. It's kind of a variation of the Lutz. Same stance, the only thing is you enter going forward, then you turn backwards. You don't have that long edge. Still gliding on your left foot and picking with your right. The next toe jump we'll look at is the toe loop, which is probably the easiest of all the toe takeoffs. And it's just a quad that everybody tries. The reason it's the easiest one is because, as you can see, the momentum of the turn backwards, open stance, starts the rotation before you even leave the ice. Now what makes this different from the Lutz and the flip is with the Lutz you're picking with your right foot, same with the flip, and with the toe loop, you're picking with your left foot. You can see the force with which it goes into the ice. Pow! Right off. Rotates, and always lands backwards on the right foot. I'd like to thank all the guys that came out to Harris Lake Tahoe to shoot this and make me do 80 of these jumps dodging lights and cameramen. I hope this feature was informative and entertaining.